Today is a leg day, which means light on the hands, heavy on the legs. So you can get either seated or kneeling, your choice. Option to use a block to support you either way. So I'm going to start supported hero's pose, block between my ankles. But again, you can start any way that you like. Close the eyes. Take a deep breath. And allow this time, these few moments, to just kind of come into the practice, letting the distractions that may be around you, maybe inside of you, just to be there. To step into the practice, even with those things kind of swirling around you. If there's any tension anywhere in the body or the mind, begin to soften it using the breath, using intention. We've been working through different forms of aparigraha, of non-attachment this week with the theming. This class is no different. Yesterday, we did a peak pose, and we just tried to appreciate the work it took to get there without having our satisfaction attached to actually accomplish that peak pose. Today, it's all about effort. So yesterday was kind of the baby step to get to today. Today will be a lot of effort. Allow yourself to have no attachment to needing to reach a finish line or to have some sort of prize at the end. The prize is all through our practice. So perhaps set an intention that reflects that now. An intention to enjoy the work, to love your practice just because it's your practice. If possible, try to let go of having judgmental thoughts during, maybe even after, maybe even now before the practice begins. Just be present in the moment. If you need to do less, do less. If you need to do more, do more. Just understand the why behind whatever you choose. If you're doing more because you feel like you need to, you have attachment to needing some sort of result, try and let that go and just listen to the needs of the body. If your fire is really stoked inside of you and you've got that energy to let go and let out, then you do you do it. Begin to roll through the shoulders. You can do both at the same time. You can do one and then the other. Very Austin Powers, come hither kind of movements here. Some of you might be too young for that. I hope not. You're gonna make the shoulder rolls bigger. Maybe the arms begin to reach up and wide and around if you have the space. You can cactus through the arms and then imagine you're drawing big circles through the elbows. Pull the belly in. Try to find some effort here right away. If you notice that you're really scooping the tailbone back and tipping the pelvis forward, try and correct that long spine. Reverse the circles while trying to keep the collarbones broad. You can begin to roll through the wrist as well. Get a little hippy dippy with it, flowing side to side. Let it be weird. Find the side body stretch when you're ready. Maybe opening through the chest, opening through that left shoulder. Up through center, other side. Keeping the belly pulled in, firming through the core. Again, perhaps some movement now through the right chest, right shoulder. Back up through center, grow tall, tuck the chin, pull the belly in, and now twist towards the right. Finding the 6 different movements of the spine here. That way we can get right into movement for the entire body. Inhaling up through center, Grow to come up to knees. If you're cross-legged, you can still come up to knees. Notice sensation opening through the front of the hips. If you look up, squeeze the glutes for support, pull the belly in, and come down. Inhale, reach up, twist to the other side. I'll be honest, I don't know the acoustics of these headphones, so if you hear me just panting and breathing heavy the whole time, again, I would love a compliment at the end of practice on my lung capacity. It really lifts me up. Come back through center, inhale, exhale, hands to heart. Option here for you to do some seated cat-cows if that's what you're feeling, or if you'd like to get right into those regular cat-cows and let the whole body get involved, your time to shine, baby. Just moving with the breath. I'd like you to let the breath start and then let the movement initiate from there. So beginning the inhale, then beginning the movement. Beginning the exhale, letting the movement follow. As if they're attached by a string and the start of the breath is the tip of the string. Letting the movements get big, fluid, perhaps adding additional shapes, movements of direction. If you're trying to stay completely off the wrist, I would suggest doing seated cat-cows. And again, you can do the same thing. You can find movements laterally as you find that lift of the chest. And also, as you round through the spine, you can twist. A rounded spine twist can feel really nice. Good. Now, if you're in your table, you're pretty set up well. You're set up pretty well, I guess, for this next part. If you're seated or kneeling, go ahead and turn towards the top of your mat if you're not already. Place your forearms down. Send the feet back. We're going straight into forearm plank. Let's warm up the belly. Push through the forearms. Spread the shoulder blades behind you. And then also spread the collarbones in front of you. So the shoulder heads just go straight out side to side apart from each other. Pull the belly up and in. Squeeze the thighs. Push down through the arms and then pull the arms apart. Push down through the balls of the feet. Pull the feet apart. Now pull the elbows and the feet towards each other. Can you feel that work? I can. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more breaths here. Only you know how much work you're doing. Make it hard. Again, the goal is the effort, not some prize, not some peak pose today. Enjoy the work. Enjoy the practice. Let go of attachments to the need to accomplish. Knees down, child's pose. Find some movement through the wrists if you need, some swaying through the hips. Come all the way forward, lower the pelvis down, bend in the elbows. If this is too deep for your back bend to start, come down to forearms, find a sphinx. But as you feel ready, begin to press into the hands, squeeze the glutes, engage the legs, even lift the kneecaps off the floor to find more strength to extend through the spine and the heart. Perhaps the hands can walk back towards the pelvis, finding a little deeper bend, pull the collarbones apart, lift through the crown. Tuck the toes, knees back, forearms down. Chest forward, lift the knees, forearm plank. Breathing here. Core is warm. Now, drop the heels to the left, drop the heels to the right. Back and forth. Try to keep the upper body still and quiet. Noticing how you feel, where there's heat, and where the breath may feel trapped or confined. Try to spread it all around. Knees down. Good. Again, find a seated or kneeling position Move through the shoulders, open through the chest. Upper body's getting warm, torso warm. Time to warm up the legs. Come up, top of the mat. Shake it out if you need to. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, Uttanasana. Straight spine down, bend the knees. Feet can be as wide apart as you need. Ragdoll. Top of the head is heavy. Belly is pulled in. Let the low ribs lift and almost like they're trying to detach from the hips, and then let them hang as well. Sit bones up towards the skies, knees bent. And then play around with the distribution of weight in the feet, rocking back and forth, side to side. Shake through the head, sway through the upper body. Bend one knee, then the other. Being easy on the hamstrings, paying special attention to the attachment of the hamstrings to the gluteal muscles. Really easy to overstretch here, so that's why a bend of the knees is important. So we feel a stretch from the low back through the glutes all the way to the hamstrings. And then as this begins to open up for us, we can begin to straighten through the legs and feel more intensity just behind the legs. We've already got permission from this area, so be mindful. Take the legs wider and a little bit deeper. The low ribs now pulling towards the floor, and you can sway side to side. We're going to use our hamstrings quite a bit, so we want to open them up. Then we're going to use them, and then we'll stretch them again. Same with the quads. So let's go ahead and get the quads and the hip flexors warmed up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, flat back, chest forward, away from the thighs, and fold. Now we're going to we'll step left foot all the way back. Let the knee down, rise up. Blocks here are very helpful. So if you'd like some blocks to support you under the shoulders, this is a great time for that. And what we're doing is trying to first open up through the left hip flexor. So let the pelvis come forward a bit. If you need to inch the front foot forward, you can. Right hand to right hip, left arm up, rotate the palm to the back of the room, and then pull the palm to the back as you press the pelvis forward, really stretching the psoas on the left side here. We're going to need these hip flexors to work for us, so let's say hi to them this morning. Good. Left hand down, lean forward still so that we have room on the kneecap to bend through the back knee, stretch through the quad. Can you feel your intention in the body? Letting it be true already. Not attached to a feeling that you'll get from the end of the class to a result. Enjoying the work of it. Every step along the way. Lower the foot down, hand down, tuck the back toe, lift the knee. Step forward, inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Stepping the right foot back. I'm going to go ahead and turn. That way I stay facing you. So right foot is back. Good. Coming up. Again, hands to block here. If you need your arms to be longer, that's fine. We're going to let the right hand come up, palm to the back of the room, or your back foot, I guess. And as you press the pelvis forward very gently, making sure that you inch that front foot forward if you need to, you start pushing resistance back through the right hand, lifting up through the heart. So this whole front chain, this whole front line gets nice and open. Right hand down. Begin bending through the back knee, reaching for the foot. Feeling the right quadricep begin to stretch and open. Then don't let that left shoulder wrap forward. Open up. Even lean it back. Pull the belly in. Good. Foot down, hand down, lift the back knee, step forward, inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Sink the hips low and low. Reach the arms forward, straight forward here. Pull the shoulders back. Hands to heart. Collarbones broad, pull the belly in. Sink low, sink low, sink super low, boat pose. Pull the knees in. Hip flexors work, low belly works. Feet down, feet wide. Reach forward. And then we're going to rock forward until we can come all the way up. Keep the knees wide, pulling towards the pinky toes. We're in a malasana. Push down through the feet. Stand all the way up. Squeeze the buns all the way down. All the way up. All the way down. Squeeze the buns the whole time. You come all the way up. Find resistance all the way down. Knees wide. Don't let them collapse in. Hips down. Boat pose. We're going to do that one more time. So a set of 3 malasana lowers and then find a boat. Feet down, feet wide, heels in, toes out. Lean forward, pull the belly in, pull the shoulders back. Press up. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. And lower. Chest stays lifted. Press down, squeeze. Keeping the knees coming wide, protecting our knees. If we let the knees collapse in, we can find some damage there, so protect yourself. One more lower. A lift. And the lower all the way to boat. Seat down, chest lifted, legs lifted. Pick up a block. If you have a block, hold it with the hands. Lift the arms and tap the shins. Lift, lower. We're working the hip flexors. Flex through the feet. Pull the thighs towards the chest. Lift up and lower. Lift up and lower. One more time. Lift up and lower. Place the block down. Okay, we're going to rock and stand all the way back up. It might be easier for you if you bring the feet wide. If you can do this with knees together and stand all the way up, then you're better than me. Ready? Let's stand all the way up. Feet under hips. Take a stretch. Chest opener. Maybe a side bend. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold forward. Pedal out the knees. Now, grabbing your block or whatever you are using as a block, it needs to be stable. So even stack of thick books would work. I'm turning towards you so you can see what we're doing. Let's find our supporting muscles. A little bit of glute med work. Left foot steps on the block. So right now your toes may be down, and I want you to find level. So notice what you have to do with the hips to find that. So we're level. Keeping the legs both soft knees, but straight legs. Lower, lift. Lower, lift. Hands come to heart or to hips. Lower, lift. We're doing 10 of these total. So now 5 more. And 3. Keep the belly pulled in. 2, 1. Now starting level, lift up high, high, high. Good. 7 more. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now all the way up, all the way down. 10 of these. You keep count. If you guys haven't done Minnie's Pilates class, she does these. She does a lot of fine muscle work that is really supportive of a healthy, balanced yoga practice. So if you haven't done her Pilates, you guys, I really recommend checking that out. She's a great teacher. A few more. Soft bend in that left knee. Don't lock it out. Good. Now circle around, point the toe. We're not touching the floor. Squeeze the buns as you squeeze back and cross behind your center line. Squeeze the inner thigh adduction as you cross in front. Squeeze the booty as you cross it back. You feel like an ice skater here maybe. Like voila. Good. 2 more. We're only doing 5 of these. I know this isn't very yoga-like, but it's going to help the movements that we're going to do. Good. Shake it out. Notice any sensation on that left side. Say good morning, glute med. Right foot up. Stay level. Lower down and lift. Lower, lift, lower, lift. Your count, guys. You've got 6 more. Stay with the breath. Move with the breath. Hands on hips can help you get an idea of if you're keeping them level when you dip and then when you raise to find that level. That's why I'm doing it myself. Good. Now start level and lift. And lift. Lift. 6 more. Keep checking my time on my watch just to make sure I'm where I need to be, you guys. It's easy to lose track of time when you're teaching online. Good. When you've done 10, all the way up and all the way down. 10 of these. Feel the stability now being created, being made along that right side. The obliques work on the left side. Pull the belly in, stability. Even squeezing the glutes is going to help find stability in the low back as we make these movements. 4 more. 2, 1. Okay, our circles, 5 of these. Squeeze the butt as you come behind. Squeeze the thighs together like you're closing a pair of scissors as you come in front. Soft right knee. Notice the muscles of the right foot working to keep you balanced. It's challenging. Enjoy the challenge. Enjoy the effort. That is the gift of the practice today. Losing attachments to the need to be entertained, for this to be some sort of just recreational activity. This is something personal. Our practices are very personal. Come off your block, set it aside, do what you need to do. It might feel really good to take a fold and then lean the hips side to side. You can take the feet wider and take some twists. Some skandasanas. Opening up through the inside of the thigh. We just use some adduction, so open that area up. You can come high or stay low as you transition. Eventually coming to the top of the mat, stepping forward, inhale, half lift. Exhale to fold. Bend the knees, sink the hips, chair pose. Option 2, take a little bit of a back bend here, or to neutralize the spine, bring hands to heart. Pull the belly in. Keeping the knees bent, put weight to the left foot, take weight off the right foot. And switch. And switch. Try to keep the hips low. Pull the belly in. Good. This time we're going to plant the left foot, lift the right leg, and we're going to cross the right knee over the midline. Cross it back behind, just like we did before. But our left knee's bent. We've got more weight loaded to the quad and the hamstring. If you'd like to trace that knee down the calf, do a Shiva squat, go ahead. If you'd like to sit into an eagle seat here, go ahead. Otherwise, just a couple more movements. Pick your challenge. Then find your chair. Inhale, exhale, fold. Let the fold feel like relief. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Pull the belly in, lift the chest away, half lift. Bend the knees more, sink the hips, chair pose. Again, our little dance, weight to the right foot, lift the left, keep the hips low. Other side, squeeze the booty as you do this. Squeeze the thighs towards each other isometrically. So they don't actually come together, but you feel that work. And now the right foot lands, it roots down, left leg lifts, left knee crosses over and behind. Over and behind. Option here to begin finding those eagle seats or those Shiva squats. Yogi's choice. I'm going to find an eagle seat because that's something that I feel like is a deep challenge for me at the moment. Chair pose, inhale, exhale, fold. Whew. Hope you guys feel nice and hot, typically a hot flow. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Step the right foot all the way back. Inhale, reach high. Breathe here. Open up warrior two. Again, stretching through the hips, through the thighs. Reaching through the wrists. Tracking the left knee towards the left pinky toe. Pressing through the outer edge of the back foot to keep the arch lifted. Smile to yourself. Pull the belly in. Straighten through the front leg. Triangle pose. If you have weight in that left hand like I do, try to lift up through the right hand. Take the weight off. And also use blocks. Bend into the knee, side angle pose. If you'd like to take the bind here, go ahead and take the bind. If you feel pretty open through the hamstrings, through the hips, you can begin to straighten through that leg, find the bound triangle. Keep pulling the right shoulder, head back, keeping the collarbones open, belly pulled in. Then look up towards the sky. Bend the knee, hands come down. Inhale, half lift as you step forward and fold. Inhale, half lift. Bend the knees like you're finding chair pose so you can really push down through the feet. Use the legs to rise up, Urdhva Hastasana. Swan dive forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step the left foot back. I'm going to switch sides here. Good, rise up, high crescent lunge. Feel the work. Pull the belly in. Warrior two. Same cueing on this side. Stay active through the legs. Active through the core. Active through the arms. Straighten through the front leg. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Finding what works for you. Breathing in the pose. Like Deepak Chopra said, if we hold on to the breath, we'll suffocate. So don't even have attachment to the breath. Let it come, let it go. Bending into the knees, side angle pose. Option for the bind. Maybe the attempt of the bind is enough. Hands can wave at each other. Maybe the left hand just wraps around the low back. Keep pulling the left shoulder back. Push down through the feet. Strong legs. And maybe straighten through the right leg. Bound triangle. Squeeze through the glutes. Outer glutes wrap in. Firm through the belly. This supports and stabilizes the low back. Push down through the feet. Bend through the knee. Release through the arms. Move through the shoulder if you need to. Plant the hands. And you're going to step forward into your half lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees like your chair pose, just to rise all the way up. Hands to heart. Close the eyes. Option to stand here, Tadasana, reconnecting with the breath, with your practice and intention. Or you can do the same thing by widening the feet, heels in, toes out, sinking again into Malasana. If you're craving work, if you're craving more effort, those Malasana squats, squeezing the glutes, making it ugly at the top, and then lowering down, okay? Yogi's choice. I myself am going to choose Tadasana to try and catch my breath so I'm not panting in this next portion. Whatever you're doing, 3 more breath cycles. Meet me in Tadasana. Samastitihi, hands down by the sides, ready. This is a pose of readiness. Waiting. Thinking of it as standing at attention. Look down, notice the feet. Let the second toe be pointing straight forward. Unless you've got wild toes and they all go all different directions. But just try and let the center of the top of the foot be forward. Hip distance apart. So find your iliac crest, your hip bones, and that's going to line up with the center of the front of your feet. Okay. Are you ready? Hands to heart. Root down through the left foot, right knee to chest. Just starting like this. Straighten through the leg. Hip flexor work. Bend. Fold forward. Virabhadrasana 3. Bend through the knee. Lift up a little. Keep it bent, come all the way through, straighten, lift up a little, bend, all the way through. Okay, so you can keep doing this with that bent knee position, or remember how we did that hip lift, so we could bring it all the way around? You can find a hip lift here so the leg can stay straight and do that pendulum swing all the way back. We're working our low belly, our hip flexors, as we lift the top of the foot. So flex the foot to find a little more action through the quad and the calf. Lift up. You're going to use low belly hip flexor to do that work. And then the work is going to change. Glute med on the left side supports us to swing all the way through. Then the back chain begins to work as we find our warrior three. Squeeze the butt, lift up, maybe pulse. 2, 3, all the way up. Pulse, 2, 3. Belly has to stay firm and in control this whole time. Woo! If you get shaky, if you get wobbly, that's because you're human. So we're doing this 3 times. This is our last time. 1, 2, 3. Swing it all the way back. Bend through the left knee. Step it back. Whew. Now you can find warrior one footing or high crescent lunge. Your choice. Chest stays forward. Interlace the fingers behind the back. Open the chest. And we're going to fold forward. So I'm going to find that warrior one footing. Bow the heart down. Again, let it feel good. And now begin to rotate the chest over that front leg and straighten through the front leg. If you need to bring the hands down and bump the back foot in, you certainly can. Intense hamstring stretch or pyramid pose. Left hip back, right hip forward. Walk the hands forward. Little to no weight in the hands as we find that standing split, okay? So soft bend in the supporting leg. You can bring hands to blocks if you need to. As you begin to reach that back leg up, drive through the heel, heart towards the shin. And step it back, high crescent lunge. Finding that transition again, warrior three. Oop, 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 we can do it, we can do it. Straighten through the left leg if you can. Bring it all the way through. Lift up as much as you can. Step it down. Whew. You did it. Shake out that left foot. The good news and the bad news is that there's one more side, but at least there's not 2 more sides. See what I did there? Okay, when we're ready. Feel strong. Samastitihi, you are ready. You were made for this moment. Left knee to the chest. Maybe you extend the leg, begin working through the hip flexors, the quad, just feeling that pulsing. Maybe you begin to bend the knee. Find that Virabhadrasana 3 shape. Maybe a little pulse there, just kind of testing the waters of this side. It's going to be different than the other side. Knee bent, bring it through, extend, bend. Maybe you extend here, then bend. Finding range of motion, finding what feels good, finding what you need to do on the second side. If you need to stay with those bent knees instead of full extension, go ahead and do that. So what we're going to do is those 3 sets of finding that leg forward with 3 pulses to our warrior 3, leg extended or bent with 3 pulses, okay? You can do it. Not sure if I can. As we're ready. Left leg forward. 1, 2, 3. Glute med helps us. Lift, lift, lift. Send it back. The arms can do whatever you like, you guys. They can reach forward as you lift, lift, lift. Maybe they reach up, lift, 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 and back. Feel the right foot stabilizing you. Maybe they come down or to hips. You can do this. One more set. Unless you're moving much slower than me. If that's the case, kudos, man. The slower, the harder. I know my breath has really picked up to match the movement of my body. Or really, I should try and slow it down. Okay, we're gonna come up, knee to chest. Settle the body, settle the breath. The right foot might be aching, that's okay. Send it forward. Scoop it through, warrior three. Let it be its own shape. Step it back. Oh, we made it. Woo. Okay, high crescent or warrior one. Your choice. Let's just open up through the heart space. We may have collapsed a bit there. Back bend if you'd like. Humble warrior. Bow forward. Let it feel good. Drop the top of the head. Push through the back foot. Coming up, repositioning the hands, perhaps that back foot to find our pyramid pose. Remember, right hip crease back, left hip point forward. Soft bend in the knee. Give some love, some support to the back of the right leg. Look forward, walk the hands forward, and then drive up through the heel, down through the heart. Perhaps you want to challenge your balance. You can hold on to the ankles, or you can use hands against the floor for leverage. Yogi's choice. Okay. Find that L shape or warrior three. Step the foot all the way back. Rise up. Do the legs feel the burn? They feel the effort, the challenge. Remember, that's the gift today. Warrior three. Scoop it all the way. Squeeze the glutes as you do this. Lift. Use the hip flexors. Use the belly. Step it down. Shake it up. Whew. If you need to dance it out, I hope you have music on. Okay. Come wide on your mat. Or if you need to, depending on how your camera's positioned, you can just come off your mat like this. That's fine. I'm going to turn towards you. So just take it wide. Heels in, toes out. Sorry. Just all collect ourselves. Heels in, toes out. As you begin to bend the knees, bring knees towards pinky toes. As you squat and up. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the buns, pull the knees wide. Keep squeezing, keep pulling out as you push down through the feet to rise up, belly in. Option to do what you need to with the arms, maybe cactus as you lower. And extend, cactus, extend. Maybe something else. Maybe hands, slide, and up. Slide and up. Maybe you want to stay low. Sway, drop a shoulder. Your time, again, choosing strength or maybe more openness, more flexibility. If you really want to challenge yourself, lift the heels, go low. Ooh, I wobble. Good. And lower the heart, lift the hips. Again, options for Skandhasanas. We've got one more fun dynamic action here with our feet wide. So go ahead and come back up. We're going to squat down. Weight to the left foot, less weight in the right. Come up, and you're going to try and just Crunch the right knee towards the right elbow. Then take it wide, squat down, goddess or horse pose. Whoop, whoop, come up, left knee, left elbow. It'll become easier, dynamic movements. Try and go slower than I just did, okay? So squat, press, come up and in, and lower. And up, and lower. If you need to do less, do less. And lower one last time in our goddess or in our fold. Perhaps the feet come wider, chest can come down. If this created a lot of heat, a lot of stoked fire within, this might be a great time for a safe inversion if you can do so on your own. I would suggest supported headstand or tripod. Otherwise, you can find malasana or keep doing this wide leg fold. If you're doing your tripod, planting the flat part of the head down, you're doing your wrists under elbows. You're pushing into the hands as hard as you can. You're squeezing the elbows toward each other. The hips come back over shoulders. You push into the hands. The feet begin to float. Engage through the core. Find your center line. Perhaps you'd like to bring the feet together, knees wide. Find the triceps. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Come up higher if you can. Push, push, push into the hands. Look forward to find your crow pose. Whatever's done. Again, this was kind of a fun playtime or chill time, depending on what your practice needs. Meeting seated. So take a couple breath cycles to get there. We're going to meet seated in a wide leg fold. If you need to take care of the low back by elevating the hips, getting a little extra head start in that nutation, that forward anterior tilt of the pelvis, go ahead. Otherwise, heels wide, heart lifted, feet flexed. Keeping the spine long, tip the heart forward. You can walk the hands out if you need to. You can come down to forearms. If you are a flopper, if you can just come flat on the chest, this feels like nothing to you, I'm going to ask you to give yourself boundaries as a challenge. I'd like you to bend the knees. That's going to prohibit you. It's going to make it actually impossible. So you bend the knees, rotate, pull the toes back. You are not going to be able to flop, but you're going to get more benefit this way. And breathe. Walk the hands towards the left foot. Trying to keep that heart, that line of the spine long, belly pulled in. Walk back through center. Other side. Through center. Right forearm down. Maybe hand down, depending on your range of motion. We're going to begin to find a side body stretch through the left side. So depending on where you are, again, we're flexing the feet. We're pulling the toes back towards us. Left arm up and over. Belly's pulled in. Left shoulder's rotating back. Then perhaps you can tip. But notice as I tip, my shoulder comes forward. That's not what we want. We want a nice open chest. So if you're choosing between rolling forward to make that connection, that means you have an attachment to needing those toes, let it go. Instead, find a lightness, a happiness in creating space rather than closing off, just to reach toes. Reaching your toes doesn't matter. Finding benefits of the posture does matter. Good, back through center. Now you can come all the way up, or maybe it feels good to round and then kind of crab walk it or spider crawl it to the other side. Your choice. So this time the left hand down, right arm up and over. Same thing, keep the chest open. We're really trying to pull the collarbones apart, trying to pull the shoulder blades together, hugging the spine behind us. In fact, you can even use muscular effort behind you. Engage your rhomboids to pull together and down the shoulder blades, pull the belly in, and you're gonna find that the shoulder naturally rolls back. Again, noticing where your attachments lie. You still find yourself reaching when you shouldn't be reaching. Right now, I should not be reaching. This is where my body should be. Where should your body be? Feel it opening all along the right side. Let it feel so good. Appreciate that sensation. Making space. In fact, making space is all about parigraha, you know, not having attachments isn't so that, you know, we're not, I mean, it's great that we become less greedy, less attached to things, but it's really about making space for love, space to actually enjoy what we do have. Coming back up through center, closing the legs, bringing the feet in, grabbing the toes, extending one leg, rocking back. If you need to tuck the back toe back, you can. We're doing peace finger to big toe holds, finding balance on our sit bones like boat pose. I'm gonna turn towards the side. You guys don't have to. So we're lifting through the heart, reaching, reaching, lift. Use the hip flexors again. Pull the thighs towards the chest, towards the belly. Keep the heart lifted. If you prefer to grab around the feet or the heels, you certainly can. Again, honoring the limits, the edges of the body. Not dumping into the low back. Release the hands. Try to keep the feet where they are. It's hard. Now slowly lowering all the way down. Pausing for a moment in stillness. Not clinging to anything here. Not wondering what the next stretch or the next movement will be. Just appreciating the body as it is. No effort being asked. Check in with the mind. How are your thoughts? And now as the body begins to ask you for some movement, go ahead and give it. What does that look like? Is it hugging the knees in? Rocking side to side? Is it Ananda Balasana? Happy baby? Grabbing the feet, anchoring the tailbone down as the soles of the feet shine up towards the sky. Collarbone still wide. Feel action of the shoulder blades pulling down towards the earth. Maybe it's something else. If there are any other closing postures that you know you'd like to end your practice with, go ahead and take those. Supta Baddha Konasana is what's calling out to me right now, so maybe it is for you too. Soles of the feet together, knees apart, hands either wide, palms up, receiving, or hands to belly, connecting, feeling the body breathe, the prana within, appreciating the life that you have at this current moment. Even though the world feels crazy and things feel out of control, in this moment, everything is perfect just as it is. Your body is breathing itself, your heart is pumping blood. You just did a practice that was dedicated to you from you. You wrote yourself a little love note. Begin making making your way towards a very comfortable position for the body. It's time for Shavasana. Getting as comfortable as you possibly can here. And as you do so, I'm going to let you know I am going to, again, play my harmonium. If this sound is not for you, it's not your thing, go ahead and turn the volume down. It's only going to be for a few minutes. You can also go ahead and end your meeting now. You can leave the meeting and then take as long as of a rest of a Shavasana as you like. But if you'd like to listen, go ahead and listen. Let the body be relaxed. The eyes be closed. Remind yourself that we cannot grasp anything and be free at the same time. Notice if you're grasping, if you're holding on to something. Your worth is not measured by the outcome. You could say it's measured by the effort, by the intention, but not the outcome. Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Take a deep inhale. And a deep exhale. Begin moving the body. Blink the eyes open. Take in light, take in images. Welcome yourself back to your regular life. Taking the energy, the appreciation of effort into this next part of your day, of your week. Thanking yourself for your practice, for getting on your mat, for working, and letting that be the prize. Find yourself seated now, making your way towards a comfortable seat or kneeling, just like at the start of class. Let it be a mirror. So for me, that would be sitting towards my heels. Once you get there, let the eyes close and empty your body completely of air. All together, community, big breath in. And big breath out. One more breath all together, breathing in. And out. Hands together. Chin tucked, eyes closed. So grateful that we're able to practice together and appreciate this connection that we have, even if we're distant from each other physically. ending the practice today with Soham, meaning I am that connection. Thank you again. Soham. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you,
Up
Leah.
next, thank you. Up next is toddler yoga. I'm ending the call, ending the meeting, so everyone get ready for that. Thanks, guys.